Have you ever tried to set a goal and then life happens? Maybe you do good for the first couple days, maybe even the first couple weeks, but then eventually you give up on the goal. Some days you wake up tired and you're just like, I'll do it later, right? So in this video, I'm going to give you 7 simple, very, very simple steps to making that happen. Now, before I start, I do want to say that I've coached for 3 years in personal development, and I've taught many, many people how to overcome procrastination and stick to their game plan. And what I found is that the number one reason why people don't stick to a plan is because their motivation isn't strong enough or big enough. Well, let me tell you where that comes from. It comes from having a clear why, a clear reason for doing the thing that you are doing. So, for example, if your goal is 10 pounds, 20 pounds, something simple to understand like that, right? What is the deep, deep reason? Is it that you want to look a certain way? Because for a lot of people, that's not enough. For me, that wasn't enough when I set my goal for weight loss a couple years back. It was for me, I wanted to look fit at 80 something years old and be able to play with my great grandkids or my grandkids, whatever age of grandkid I had, whether it was a toddler to a teenager, right? So that was my reason. And for me, that was so strong that I couldn't not do it. Okay. So also, right now, I'm developing this discipline of waking up before 5 a.m., spending time in prayer and worship and reading the Bible, and then working out so that I could be done with all that by 6:15, 6:30, get my kids up and get them ready for school. If I got to take them out, if I have time to take them, I'll take them. If not, then I got to go to work. They got to go to school. Uh, my wife and I have 4 children, so it's a very busy lifestyle. And I don't want that to be the excuse of why I can't maintain discipline in the things that are important to me, right? So let's start these 7 steps. So, number one is to pick one goal. One. If you have not done this before, the simplest way to make sure that you will follow through is by doing one thing at a time. And the research shows that if you do something for 21 days, your brain starts to develop a habit. If you do something, the same thing for a period of about 90 days, then that habit is solidified. Okay. So there's a lot of people that say, 21 days or 30 days of something and then you're good. No, 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 no. That's when your brain recognizes it as a habit and it becomes easier. But after 90 days, it becomes something that's automatic, that you can't not do. And that's what we want to do. So let's establish that from the beginning. Okay. Uh, Very simple, right? Pick one thing and commit to it for 90 days at least. Number two, write it down. Write it down. Did you know that even with this video, if you're just listening to this video, maybe you're running or you're driving or it's on your TV or something, you're just listening, that in about 2 weeks, maybe you'll only remember about 10% of the things that I said. But if you write it down and you take notes, then you'll remember up to half, maybe 60% of what I said. So writing it down improves your memory of whatever the thing is dramatically, even with yourself, with your own thoughts and the things that you want to do. So writing it down just commits it more to your own memory. And also, in step two, you want to write a list, not just one or two reasons. You want to write as many reasons why this thing will benefit you or why you want to do it, right? So if your goal is weight loss, because it's right at the time of recording this right now, it's right before Christmas, the new year's coming up. Millions of people are going to want to lose some type of weight starting in the new year. Um, so, and that's something most people can understand very simply, right? So, write out all the benefits. Write out all the benefits. I'm gonna look good. I'm gonna feel good. I'm gonna model good behavior for my children. I'm going to uh, think clearer, right? Also, I'm going to be sick less. I'm going to have less of these problems, whatever they are. I'm going to be further and further away from all these diseases that may be in my family or all these diseases that may be in the world. If you're in America, you can see if you go outside that almost 70% of America is obese. So, is that something that you want to experience? You know? So, all those reasons, right? And that's going to help you have motivation, have purpose in it. It's not like I'm doing this just to do it, right? So write that down and the benefits. Step number 3, map it out. Map out a plan and what success is going to be like. So if you say, my success, for example, is 20 pounds. Okay, cool. What is it that you have to do to achieve that? What at the end of that, think of it as a line, right? The end is 20 pounds lighter, all of these benefits, yada, yada, yada. But before that, you have to be 15 pounds lighter. Before that, you have to be 10 pounds lighter. Before that, you have to be 5 pounds lighter. Before that, you have to be 2 pounds lighter. So, what is it going to take for you to get 2 pounds lighter? And after you're 2 pounds lighter, what is it going to take for you to be 5 pounds lighter? And then 5 pounds lighter, what is it going to be take to get to 10 pounds and 15 and then ultimately the 20, right? Are you going to, and what does it look like for you specifically? So for me, um, I'm training for a triathlon in September. I want to do a half an Ironman, which is a mile swim, 60-mile bike ride, and then half a marathon running, right? So for me, what that looks like is I got to wake up, I'm running 3 to 5 miles, 3 to 4 times a week, and I'm strength training on the other days. So I have to wake up at, I set my alarm for 5, and I'm now, because I've been doing this for at least a month, I'm waking up before my alarm. So that's time that I gain that I'm not just snoozing or like waiting for my alarm in bed, right? So I wake up, I get out of bed. That's step 1 for me, which is hard, was hard. Get out of bed, wash my face immediately so that I wake up, read my Bible, pray, meditate on what I just read, all of that. And then when my alarm goes off, then I'm immediately like getting ready so that I can be early to the gym or running outside or whatever it is I'm doing, right? So that's my personal plan, game plan of how I'm getting that done. How often am I doing that? 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days if I can. So, but I like to rest. So, you know, 6 days if I'm being honest, mostly 3 days running, 3 days strength training in the gym, and not missing a day. If I do miss a day, then what I have to do is wait till everyone goes to bed, put my 3-year-old to bed because she likes me to lay with her and her lay on my chest or my arm. And then after that, go and do the workout and then wake up early and do another workout. So it's kind of like back to back. And that's not something I'm striving for. So I'd rather do it early in the day, right? And then have the rest of the day to work and do everything else we have to do. So that's my plan. What's yours? You have to map it out and write it down. Okay. Step number 4, anticipate obstacles. What I just said in my example was if I don't do it in the morning, then I have to do it this way. And I don't want to do that, right? That's me anticipating an obstacle. What happens if my wife and I go on a date and we're out late, or for whatever reason, I don't go to bed early at night? Just last week, we had a tournament an hour and a half away for our oldest daughter and our son, and we got home late one night. Everybody's tired. Um, we went to bed really late. That next day, I was like, okay, I'm going to set an earlier alarm just in case I'm so tired that I want to snooze and sleep in. So that way I have a few alarms before my actual alarm so that those alarms wake me up. And then by the time 5 o'clock comes, I'm getting ready. Like even right now at the time of recording this video, it's like 5 and change in the morning right now. So it's cutting into my run time. So you're welcome. So I anticipate all the obstacles, right? Do you have a proclivity or a leaning towards being lazy in the morning? Do it at night. Do you have a habit of being more tired at night and not wanting to do anything? Do it in the morning. Do you have time in the middle of the day? Just like, what are all the obstacles? What are the things that will stop you? What are the things that'll get in your way? Do you go out at night a lot? Maybe plan for your rest day being that next morning and then nothing else. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, anticipate the obstacles. Step number 5, remove the obstacles. Have a plan for every obstacle. If you write this down, if you make a list, right, fresh piece of paper, obstacles on the left side, and then you write a line down the middle, and then on the right side, for every single obstacle, write 2 or 3 solutions to that obstacle. So if this happens, if this goes wrong, then I can either do this, or even do this, right? Because planning ahead like that eliminates the panic of, oh my God, I didn't do it at this time. I got to do this. I'm going to break my habit. Da, 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 da. You don't want to be there, right? Very simple. Remove them. Step number 6, put it in your calendar and set alarms. It is 2024. It's about to be 2025. If you're watching this, you likely have a smartphone and internet. Okay? You might even have a smart watch synced to your phone. When you set an alarm on your phone, you feel the alarm on your watch also. Okay? So do that. Put it in your calendar, put it on your fridge, wherever you keep your life organized, put it there. What doesn't get scheduled doesn't get done. So if you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to do it at 12 o'clock every day, whatever the thing is, and someone a week from now says, hey, let's go to lunch at 12, and it's not in your calendar, it's not scheduled, and you're like, oh, yeah, I got time. Wrong. That's your dedication time. That's the time that you dedicated to doing the thing that you wanted to do. If you want to make YouTube videos, what time and day are you going to do this? For me, I decided to do it later on in the week because if I do like Sunday after a Saturday rest day, then it's going to make me lean towards, I could take another day of rest off. And I don't want to do that. Or be late to church. We don't want to do that. So whatever works for you is what works for you. But that's what you have to do. Put it in your calendar, Make sure you know, and make sure everyone around you knows in your circle. This is a big thing also, which is going to get into the next step. So step 6, put in your calendar and set alarms. Okay, it's a two-step step. Calendar, alarms, alarms, multiple. Okay, daily. Do this. Trust me, it works. Step 7, execute and tell people about it. Don't keep it to yourself, because when you tell someone, you automatically know that not only now do you have to keep your word to yourself, but you have to keep your word to that other person. If you said, hey, I'm going to be doing this, 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 and this, that sets an expectation for you and to them about you, right? It's, I forgot the term for this, but basically, when you make something public and tell people about it, it makes you more likely to do this because human beings want to be consistent. We have a desire to be consistent. So if you tell 40 people, you post this on your Instagram or your Facebook or your X, Twitter, or whatever, you make a YouTube video about it, then you're more likely going to stick to that plan because you want to be consistent. When someone asks you about it, you want to say, oh, yeah, I've been doing it for this long and blah, 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 blah. I'm sticking to it, right? So that's another motivation to add to those things. You have to keep your word. You have to keep your word, most importantly, to God, your creator, and to yourself. Because if you don't keep your word to yourself, you can't trust yourself. You have no confidence. But yeah, that was extra. I'll end it right here. Uh, Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. And I hope that every goal that you set in 2025 or starting today, that you can accomplish it with these 7 simple steps. Peace and love.